This conference will now be recorded.
Oh,
Fancy.
okay. I will call the meeting to order, and we need a roll call.
Johnny Woofter,
Present.
Sharon Deal,
Present.
Greg Leonard,
Here.
Linda Lips, Shirley Miller, Tristan Rice,
Here.
and Richard Thompson.
Here.
All righty, you're going to address the approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda. Sharon Deal.
And,
I'll second.
okay, second. Kristen, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It probably
motion
would
passed.
help if you said your name instead of, I'll make the motion. Just say Sharon, Tristan.
Okay.
All right, great. Okay, minutes from the board meeting of March 10th. Are there any additions or corrections?
I move to approve. Dick Thompson.
Okay. Second?
Greg will.
Okay, all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Sharon Deal.
Motion approved. On to minutes of the special board meeting, which took place on March 31st, and closed 2. Any additions or corrections to that one? Nothing? Okay, a motion to approve that.
Sharon Deal makes the
Kristen.
motion.
And second,
In it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion approved. Correspondence, there was none. The fiscal officer's report, Debbie?
We had the financial reports. I understand they were probably a little difficult to read. But did anybody have any questions?
Hey, Deb, this is Dick. There's been no notification from the county that our funding could be in peril, is there?
Not yet. From the state auditor's office, there has been though.
And to what degree?
35%.
Oh.
Yeah.
So have we worked that through the budget to see what that means?
Well, Kim and I have both done it separately, and we need to get together to do it collectively because it could mean up to $100,000. So
So how will the state determine what the haircut is?
based on their revenue, you know, the sales tax is down and the personal income tax is being postponed till August, I think.
Well, did we apply for a PPP loan?
We are not able to.
Okay.
As a public entity, we're not eligible for that.
It would seem to me then that we need to go through this exercise then, right, to see what it means to us?
Yeah, Deb, that's what Deb and I have been working on. I've already found about 60,000 of the 100,000 without making, that's before any cuts to personnel. Okay, sorry, hang on one second. Sorry, Buck wanted to participate really badly in this. So we're going to save a little bit of money making some cuts to our material spending and our programming because we're not going to be able to have face-to-face programming for the remainder of this year for sure. And then looking at part-time hours, I've already started cutting between 10 to 13% there. So I think we're well on our way of being able to get there. It's just going to be a really tight year. We don't know what next year is going to look like. At this point, we don't even know for sure what the rest of this year is going to look like. We're just going off of, they've recommended all state entities to look at cutting 20%. So we're being conservative, I think, going with the higher amount, but I'd rather be conservative than lowballing it.
So that's at the 35% level?
Correct.
And is it your intention to present a modified budget before we recess for the summer?
No. That would wait till fall when we come back in September.
I mean, are we going to wait till the fall to institute some of these cost savings?
No, they'll be instituted right away. But being as we have not received any formal notifications, there really isn't anything to present for approval.
I think it's safe to say, though, that the sales tax will be down dramatically, and therefore there will have to be a cut, and therefore we will have to make alterations to our budget. I would suggest that we have that modified budget before the summer gets too far along. Where do you intend to get this 35%, I guess is what I'm saying. And maybe it's not a modified budget for approval, but here, this is how it adds up.
Right, and that's what Kim just explained about the supplies budget, the permanent improvements or the capital improvements. And she's not having the face-to-face programming.
Well, could we see a list of those with some numbers beside it that adds up to whatever that 35% number is? Could
You sure
forward that?
can. You sure can.
Okay.
I mean, it's not quite compiled yet, but it's well on its way.
Well, it sounds like it, and I think it's just for our information.
Okay.
I'd like to see it. If we're
Yes,
gonna
we
have to
will certainly
respond.
get that to you.
And to clarify, we already have started implementing many of those cuts. So the materials, I've already cut the materials budgets in half. So we're ordering half as much as what we normally would as for books and e-materials. The programming budgets have already been slashed down to pretty much nothing. And the schedule for June has a 12.8% less part-time hours than a typical month would.
One thing, Dick, is Kim and I have not been working on the same days so that we're down here by ourselves. So we're sending information back and forth electronically.
Okay, are you looking at enclosure 3?
Yes.
Okay. And then can we lump that along with the alternative tax budget and have a one single motion there and a roll call?
No, we have to
Nope.
have two separates.
Okay, so are we ready for a motion then to accept the first part then?
I'll make a motion to accept enclosure 3, the financials for March and April. That's Sharon Deal.
Meg will second it.
Okay, and then we need a roll call.
Not on the financials. We don't. On the alternative, we will.
Oh, okay, so just an all in favor then.
Yes.
Okay,
All in favor? Yes, yes, aye.
Yeah. okay. That motion is approved then. Okay, on to the alternative tax budget. That's enclosure 4. Bring that up here.
Yep. This is the tax budget that we're required to send to the school district. This is the beginning of our budget for 2021, which of course doesn't start till January for us. But this is based on the information we have. And no, there hasn't been any reductions put to it. But this is not our working budget. This is the budget that allows us to collect the taxes.
Okay. Any questions about that one? No?
No.
All right, we need a motion to accept that.
So moved. This is Tristan.
Okay, and a second? Greg? Okay, and now a roll call, correct?
Johnny Woofter,
Aye.
Sharon Deal,
Yes.
Greg Leonard,
Yes.
Tristan Rice,
Yes.
and Dick Thompson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, that motion's approved. All right, we're on to Kim and number 5.
Okay, even though I've been home, I've been quite busy this month. It took a good deal of time to create the limited service model for reopening the library. I've participated in several workshops and roundtable discussions with Voorhees, OLC, and other library directors in the region, and have been in contact with the prosecutor's office and the health department to try and make this phased reopening plan be as successful as possible. So I have received approval on the 5th of May. I did receive approval from the county health department that we can proceed with our phased reopening plan as presented, with the assumption that the dates may change based on the recommendations coming out of the governor's office. So as of right now, the governor has still not given libraries the okay to reopen our facilities. We are able to offer limited services such as curbside service and returns through the book drop. But as far as opening our buildings to the patrons, that date has not been announced yet. Under my plan, we will start working in the building. All staff will report, well, I have them coming back staggered so that we're at less capacity. But starting on the 18th, staff will be working from inside of the building, and we will reopen the book drops first, quarantine those materials for 4 days, and start cleaning and checking in materials. CleveNet will start releasing holds so that we can get holds out to patrons, and then we'll roll out with our curbside service. The intention is to open the library with limited service capacity on June 1st, if we get the okay to do so. I have all of the necessary PPE ordered and most of it on hand for staff for when we go back on the 18th. The only thing I'm missing is hand sanitizer and the pumps to have at staff desk station, but I do have the ones on the walls. Bill Sandrock is making some sneeze guards for in front of the circulation desk. And then we're going to be hanging plastic from the ceilings to kind of block off and enclose areas for the different staff stations. I've went through and kind of redesigned staff stations and their duties so that everybody will be working 6 feet apart. And that's all outlined in your plan for you. Another thing we've been doing from home is creating a ton of virtual content. We've gotten a couple shout outs from the State Library of Ohio, from OLC, and from the regional. We were asked to put together an instructional video actually for other libraries on how to create virtual story times and other programming, because other librarians are really seeing what we're doing and really liking it. So I was really proud of Tawny and all the staff who've been putting in so much time at home, making sure that we're still serving our patrons to the best of our ability. Other than that, I submitted today the Guiding Ohio Online grant that pretty much pays the 75% for Tawny's position, with the same stipulations as last year, having or 37 hours a week. So I should find out about that. They usually let us know last week of June, early July, whether or not we'll receive that again. I think our chances are pretty good. She's done so much, and I was able to submit a letter of support from Bill Hamilton at the middle school as well, talking about all the different things that she's done in conjunction with the schools and that we plan to do over the next year. As far as donations, we had a $100 donation made by Norman and Kathleen, and I know I'm going to destroy this name. Is it Sealshot?
Bill Scott.
Okay, thank you very much. In memory of Ed Muir. And then we received a whole big supply of flowers, flats of flowers, and they had begonias and petunias, geraniums, some hanging plants. There was a patron who is involved with the TCTC landscaping program there, and she actually recommended that the library be the recipient of all these donations. So we were very, very happy to accept and get to save some money there and be able to use those instead of having to go out and buying plants. So Dell's working on getting those in as we speak.
Can we have maybe a little sign made or something to put somewhere, maybe a thank you sign? Might be nice to give them credit.
Absolutely. Yes, we can do that.
Kim,
yes.
I just got a text from Shirley. She's trying to get on. She might call you.
Okay.
I told her to maybe she has to get into settings, but I told her if she can't, maybe just to call you on her cell, on your cell.
Okay.
If she can't. Okay, sorry. Okay.
No, that's okay. As far as our technology program, we've done, Tawny has done 17 presentations in the month of April. In total, we had a total of 69 programs, including all the programs she's done, in addition to all the programs that the other staff has done as well. And they're getting quite a few views, 912 total views on our YouTube channel and our social media accounts. Nicole has been working on doing videos and reformatting some of her programs to be a virtual program. So instead of doing our create and take, we're going to be doing take and creates, so people can pick up like a little supply kit at the library, go home, and then we'll have a virtual session where they can, like this, where they can all sit together and do the craft. They are still working on ordering digital materials. We're trying to beef up our Overdrive digital collection. Cheryl's been doing a really fun program called Walk with a Librarian. She has a lot of properties, so she goes out in the mornings and takes her phone and videos and things that she's seeing. It's just really nice. The patrons have commented how they feel like, they miss us. So when we do stuff like that, they feel like they can be there along with us again.
What is that through, Kim?
Everything is posted on the library's YouTube channel. And then we have everything organized into playlists. Another one that has a lot of popular views is Tawny's doing these, what they're called snack chats. So she does like a little recipe and explains how to make something. And while she's doing it, she talks about books that she's reading. And viewers can comment and talk about stuff that they're reading. They've taken off pretty well. That's one of the fun ones we're all kind of trying to do. And Diane's been doing lots of virtual storytime programs, and she has prepped to 7 new stories that we're going to start changing out the story walk more often, so that it gives people something to do when they're walking through. So she has a whole lineup of different books that she'll be putting out in over the summer months. And also she created a survey so we can kind of get some feedback on how people are using the story walk, just for our own information, so we can, make sure that we're utilizing it to the best of our ability. As far as our statistics, pretty obvious. Our physical materials are way down. The circulation that we do have is from auto renewals. So we are getting some circ from that. But if you take a look at our e-media total, it is like through the roof. So I'm really pleased that people are actually using the Overdrive, the Libby, and the Hoopla. Does anybody have any questions on any of the circulation statistics or the library use and traffic statistics?
Kim, this is Dick.
Yes.
Could you again explain when you're going to open for, I'm asking a curbside service. Does that mean you're going to hand books through the front door?
Okay, so no, we'll handle it much like many of the stores are doing that. Our plan is to start that on June 1st. People will call in and fill out a request form over the phone. And then we have what's called our roaming circulation staff member, who's the person who will be assigned to monitoring the door and how many people are in the library at any given time. They'll have on a mask and they will take the items out to the designated spot right in front of the book drops. That's going to be our curbside spot. And we're actually going to be putting some lines there and signage to indicate that. The patron will call us when they get there, pop their trunk. We put the items in their trunk and away they go.
Is there one person who that's just their job or?
Yes. Yeah, that's we almost had to create a doorman. This is kind of like the doorman. So they're basically making sure that people have masks when they come in, monitoring traffic flow to make sure that people are staying 6 feet apart. We're only going to allow 15 people in addition to staff in the library at any given moment because I don't think we can comfortably have any more than that and keep them 6 feet away from each other because we are going to close off the nonfiction stacks and pull those items and only allow browsing in our fiction area, our children's area, and our media rooms, which children's and media, only one family can be in the room at a time browsing. So everybody's going to be working very differently for sure. But to answer your question, Dick, yes, it'll be June 1st that we start that curbside service.
But at the same time, you're going to allow a certain number of people in the building and do curbside service.
That is correct.
Okay.
When people are browsing, this is Sharon, when people are browsing, do they have to wear gloves?
No, we don't have them. We're not requiring gloves. I almost feel like sometimes gloves are end up being more like there's too much room for cross contamination. Instead, we've got the sanitized stations set up, one at the door. They're like kind of everywhere. So we're just going to encourage people to sanitize their hands before and after they're browsing.
And I have one more. This is Sharon again. You're having the first hour open for those who are vulnerable population people in the first hour of every day, or is that just certain days?
That's going to be every day.
Okay, that's going to be.
I struggled with that one, but we have such our patronage is largely senior citizens, so it was hard to say, which day is best. So we can always adjust things as we go too. If we notice that there aren't a lot of people utilizing that, we can cut that down.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kim, this is Dick again. What is your position going to be on the scheduled outside activities on the patio?
As of now, I say no for all face-to-face programming. The only one that we have scheduled so far is in conjunction with the car show. We have booked the band tentatively with the understanding that we have until July 1st to cancel if they don't proceed with that event.
Do I assume that you're going to put on hold any capital improvements we've scheduled for the summer?
Yes, I think we need to reevaluate that. I don't think it's going to be in the budget to be able to do the parking lot this year.
Is that the only thing we had on schedule?
Yeah, that and the cleaning of the carpet.
So both of those items are you're not going to go forward with them.
Correct.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, anything else then on that one? I'll say we need a motion to accept Kim's report.
Greg will make a motion.
And a second.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Unfinished, sorry. Okay. Unfinished business, there was none. New business?
Okay, so the phase reopening plan, I kind of went over that in my report. Does anybody have any questions? Have you had a chance to read through that? Is there?
No, it looks very good. I think you've covered a lot. That's a lot to do.
It's a lot required. It's a monumental undertaking.
It is. Will all of the staff clean every day before and after, or do you have certain people?
Yes. So everyone will be assigned to clean certain areas. So even if they're stationed at one specific desk, they're going to be required to clean that station at the beginning and end of each shift.
It's a lot to do.
It is.
Kim, have you looked at other libraries' plans to see if there's any other details that we missed?
Yes, I have. We've all been very sharing amongst directors in our region, and everybody's pretty much the scope of their reopening plans are very similar. Some other libraries are, instead of opening up to the public during their phase 2, they are making people schedule appointments to visit the library. I don't really think that's going to work for our community. So I decided not to go with that option, but instead just limit the number of people in the building at any given time. But yeah, we are right on par with what everyone else is doing.
Thank you.
I do have another question.
Sure.
Sharon, where are you putting all of these books you're quarantining? Are you putting them in the activity room, or where are you putting all this?
Yes. So we've already Dell has already taken down all the chairs and seating areas, and most of that is down in the basement by my office. So the activities room will have 4 tables that will be labeled. So when they come in from the book drop, they'll go on the 4th table, and then they'll move to we know which ones will be 4 days. We'll track it by moving the signs on the tables. But yes, those will be all kept in the activities room because we could close the door and keep it sealed off.
And so I read that all the books have to go into the book drop outside.
Yes, I think that's the best way to be able to handle without getting things mixed up. So all returns will be made through the book drop, and the book drop will be emptied 5 times a day now instead of 2.
That's a lot. That's a lot of books. Sounds good.
So I'm curious, the paperback book, a paper book, once someone's touched that, how do you disinfect that? Is it just a matter of?
We're using that's been a lot of topic amongst libraries too, is disinfecting products. And the thing that works the best is a solution of rubbing alcohol, at least 70% rubbing alcohol and water. So I've ordered a bunch of rubbing alcohol and some spray bottles so that each desk has at least 2 spray bottles of stuff as they, are getting checked in.
So you spray.
What's that?
You spray those paperback books you spray them. You don't just put it away, you spray them.
We spray the rag. We use paper
Okay.
towels. We use paper towels so that we can throw them away after every wipe. So we spray the paper towel and then wipe the book. We typically use a 409 antibacteria formula, but it's a little more expensive than the rubbing alcohol. So we're going to try this route.
Okay.
Although that wasn't easy to find either. I had to order it from a veterinary supply company. So
you're going to have a lot of it.
Okay, do you need to address the staff safety procedure then?
Just if you have any questions, staff has already looked over it and everybody has read it and signed off that they've read it. And I've already got the record log set up for them to record their temperatures. And yeah, unless anybody has any questions.
Okay, so now we need that motion to accept this report.
I'll make the motion. This is Sharon Deal. I'll make that motion.
And a second.
This is Kristen. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, motion approved. No items too late for the agenda, last I knew. And so I guess we need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, you know what? I take that back. I actually did heard back from, there's a Girl Scout working on her Silver Award who wants permission to do her project at the library. I'm inclined to say no because she wants to plant trees on the grounds. So I wanted just to kind of get your input before I respond to her.
What she want to do, Kim?
She wants to plant trees on the library grounds.
Well, why don't you ask her for a plan and let you and Dell make that decision?
Okay. Yeah, my concern was with maintenance. Once she's off and away, maintaining the trees that she plants. So I'll ask her for some more details, and we can always talk about that in the fall too.
Okay.
So is this when we say see you in September?
You want to sing it for us?
No, you don't want me to sing it for you.
Okay, I guess we need a motion to adjourn then.
I'll make
So
that.
moved.
Okay, second?
Greg will second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, meeting's adjourned.
Hey,
Okay,
Kim?
everybody, if you have any questions before September, just feel free to reach out. Yes, Greg.
Unrelated. We're meeting tonight at 6:30, reference to the Safety Forces Day thing.
Okay.
To possibly call you or something, because as far as hearing what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's fine. That'll work for me.
Okay.
Do you want to, are you guys doing a in-face meeting?
Yes, at the Legion. There's only about 4 or 5 of us.
Okay, yeah, just give me a call and put me on speaker if that's okay.
That would be great. Just wanted to
Okay.
check.
All right, sure.
Let me just say before everybody leaves that grant proposal was very, very well written.
Oh, thank you.
Very well. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.